beautiful Glam Fam, and welcome to today's video. We're testing out the brand new Armani Luminous bronzers. Oh my gosh, you guys, I could not wait to get my hands on these. I only have one shade that I'm going to currently talk about in this portion of the video, but I will show some B-roll of the other shade I got. So we'll just have some fun. If you like videos like this, please give it a huge thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get glowing.
With the bounce on the dance floor.
Alright Glam Fam, let's jump right into it. So these are brand new to the Armani Luminous Silk family. You guys know this foundation is just my holy grail. You guys know I can't stop talking about these color bombs from the Neo Nude collection. So this is going to be a perfect addition for those summer months that are coming. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is seriously so big. Look at that pan size. That is crazy. So this is the lightest shade. This is shade 90, but I do have the next shade up, which I think is 100, but we'll go over that in just a second. That hasn't come yet. So we're waiting for that one to get into the mail, but I will show you later on the footage from that, what it looks like, the swatch, and then maybe what it looks like on my skin as well. So let's jump into these details. Again, this just launched on the Armani website, but it also is available at Nordstrom and Neiman Marcus, just so you guys know. Probably Saks will get it. I'm sure Sephora will get it in soon. So this does retail for $58, and you get about, oh, you get a lot of product. You get 18 grams of product and 0.63 ounces. So we're looking at about $3.22 per gram, which isn't bad for a luxury brand. But I do have a little bone to pick. So this does have a 24-month shelf life, which is good because it's a lot to get through and you won't use that much of it, let's be honest. This is made in China. Usually luxury makeup is made in Italy, Germany, Japan. So that shocked me for a $58 price point. I mean, yes, it's not bad considering Chanel is probably like $70, but that's like made in France, right? This is made in China. So this should have been a little bit lower of a price point if we're gonna make it in China, let's be honest. It's cheaper for them to make it from China. So that shocked me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I bought this myself, and you can sign up on Armani and get like a 15% off discount or 10%, whatever it is. And then once you sign up with them, they throw in a lot of discounts. So just keep that in mind. I got the first one for 10% off, and then sporadically they sent me a coupon the next day after I already purchased this, or 2 days later, and it was like a 25% off one. So I was like, oh, darn it. So I ordered the darker shade just in case this one doesn't work out. So we are gonna test this out. This is definitely more of a neutral shade. That packaging is just really beautiful. I won't discredit them on that. Let's compare it to my little Neo Nude that I use all the time, the Color Bomb. These go really fast, but you can tell this is, I think this one is made in Italy. And you can tell by even the packaging on that, you get the little G, the little Giorgio Armani logo on that. It just, for me, they kind of, I think it's made in Korea, this one. But it just, I don't know, it just had a little bit more detail to it, but it is a lot bigger. So maybe they're trying to switch up their packaging a little. A nice size mirror though. The mirror is a really good quality mirror. I don't typically use those, but if you're on the go, it's not bad. This is described as an ultra creamy bronzing powder that's infused with skin caring oils for that smooth, even application that gives you a long wear luminous finish. This bronzer formula delivers an instant Italian summer glow, and it's formulated with micronized pigments that help to blur and smooth the appearance of texture. This ultra creamy powder melts into the skin and seamlessly stays placed for up to 24 hours. This is available in 4 shades, and again, I went with shade 90 that I have here in studio, and that is Golden Sun Rays. This is a very beautiful, neutral, almost has like yellow undertones to this. It is a really beautiful color, and I'll go over some of the bronzers that I have at the end of the video that I love and where it compares even to like, because I know everybody loves Hoola bronzer and that undertone. So it is very, very comparable to the Benefit, but I'll show you side-by-side swatches of that. But I do want to get to the application first because we're going to apply this to the cheeks and the eyes. So I'm really excited. And then I also went with, I also bought, but I haven't received it yet, that's 100 Sun-Kissed Sand. I wasn't sure what the undertones were going to be on that. So I'm still not sure, but I will probably have it by the time I edit this video. So I will show you the swatch right there. I can't talk about it because I don't know those undertones yet when I see it in person, but it looks like it's gonna have more of an orange red undertone. It just looks like it from the pictures, but we'll have to see. I'll make a note right there what kind of undertones it is. So you can check on the screen right there. But I think both shades are gonna look really, really beautiful. I have played with this a little bit when I first received it because I was dying to get my hands on it, and it is a really, really beautiful shade on my skin tone. So if you're a twinsy to me and you like the Hoola bronzer, you're definitely gonna love this shade. I'll show you right there compared to the Hoola bronzer because I don't want to make you guys wait, but I will show you towards the end all of the other bronzers I love. But just so you guys can see, because I know people like to know, I get that question a lot. How does it compare to the Hoola bronzer shade wise? Much better formula than the Hoola bronzer, much, much, much better, but very similar undertones to that. So very excited. A few things I want to make sure to look for when we go over that rate card is it's supposed to smooth and give you more of a natural faux tan glow, so we are going to look for that. It's supposed to give you that instant color adherence, which I like, and give you ultimate blendability as well as very comfortable wear. So I'm excited to test this out. I don't have anything on as far as like contours or anything like that. I just have my base on, and I already filmed this video, but I was testing out the brand new MAC Strobe Light skin tint. So really excited. That's what I have on right now, and I have NARS Sheer Glow foundation just because I wanted something lightweight to go over this skin tint. Otherwise I would have used the Armani Luminous Silk. All right, you guys, I would also compare this a lot to my Victoria Beckham shade 3. This definitely has more yellow neutral undertones, and this is a here, I'll show you in studio too, but very, very, very similar undertones to those two. This is nice because it's refillable, and this is made in Italy. So, and it is a very creamy texture. I would say very, very similar formulas, very similar. Victoria Beckham is a lot more pigmented though. This is a more buildable pigment. So I already have it on my Rephr number 4, so we're gonna just use that brush because it was clean, but when I tested it out when I arrived, I was like, oh, I have to test it, I can't wait. So it almost has like, you can kind of see a little bit of glitter particles, and if you look really, really close, but it doesn't show up on the skin. It just gives the skin more of a luminous feel. So we're gonna take this onto the Rephr to kind of structure out the face first, just to show you what this shade would look like, because it is a really beautiful kind of bronze tour type color, like a cross between a bronzer and a contour shade. But this is really beautiful. This is a very smooth, okay, I can kind of see the little bit of the glitter particles right there as I'm looking in a 7 magnifying mirror, but it is super pretty. I mean, this is not a contour powder. This is more of a bronzer powder, so you can kind of get away with those particles. I wouldn't necessarily do that as, I'm gonna take my Sonia G buffer. I wouldn't use this as a contour. But if you want a bronze tour like I'm doing, where it's kind of, you're structuring out a little, and then we'll take a fluffier brush, but really beautiful shade. Really, really, really pretty. Do you see that? Oh my God. I didn't want to do a contour. I would have done my Neo Nude underneath it, which I think is going to be gorgeous underneath, because I wanted you guys to be able to see what this looks like on its own, because not everybody does that. I'm just going to bring that there and bring that remainder down that way. But do you see that? Let's put some right here underneath the chin. Right there. Shadow that out. A lot of the times I like to start right there and just bring it down right here and then bring it down. That's really gonna kind of slim out your face too. We'll put this on the hairline. That is super beautiful. I love it. It has a very creamy texture, but I'm just warning you now, it has a little bit of glitter particles there. Not glitter, just like little luminous particles, I should say. I don't want to say glitter because then that kind of makes people go, what? I am going to do a little bit of this just to structure out my face because I want you guys to see first what it looked like. Actually, before I do that, let's take a look at it in natural daylight just so you guys can kind of see those effects as well. It's so pretty. I love the way it's looking with the strobe light cream. Oh my gosh, you guys, the fact that that cream is, I don't have any highlighter on. That's really popping through my powders. It's really pretty. Sorry, on a side note. But yeah, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is such a, it almost gives you like kind of like the Neo Nude, where it just gives you these color bombs this is a cream product, but it kind of turns into a powder. It's almost more of a powder because this you can apply over powder and it's so beautiful. So I'm gonna take this onto my Patrick Ta brush, and this is just the contour brush. And I'm just gonna take that, and that's what that product looks like. I just cleaned this brush. And I'm just gonna kind of blend it on the back of my hand first. And I'm just gonna take that right into the hollows, right there. So you see that? Just gives you that perfect little structure. I would typically do this underneath, but because I want you guys to be able to see, I like to flip it up. Sorry, went the wrong way. And then I'm just gonna kind of press that in to those hollows. Right there. Just do a little bit on the hairline and a little bit through here. I like that the Patrick Ta one gives me that exact placement, but I also love my Hourglass ambient brush for it too. So either one works, but see how that kind of gave you a little bit more structure there, and then I'll clean it up. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave that way. So I'm just gonna take the Hourglass powder for this, just because I don't really care about blurring effects right there. This is just the medium vanish. I do have a full review on this. I don't have anything on this brush. I'm just making sure everything's blended there. Really pretty. Oh my gosh, really pretty. All right, let's go in with, you can even do, like if you want that bronze tour effect, this Sonia G one, I tried it with this brush the other day and it was really pretty too. So I was just kind of playing with what brush I really liked, but that will give you a nice, easy, structured bronzed look as well. But it gives you a little bit more than the rougher is a little bit, you know, placed it in a little bit tighter, where that one gave you a little bit more fluff that area. And then you can also use, this is my rougher, or not my rougher, sorry, my Chikuhodo Takumi brush, and this is the one I always do bronzer with. But you can just bronze it up even more that way. It's very buildable, but it doesn't seem to like look cakey once you build it, or patchy or anything. It applies beautifully. So no matter which brush I used, it was so pretty. I use natural hair brushes just because for me, that guarantees I will never have any patchiness. Just natural hair brushes don't give you those patchy abilities. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. But really beautiful. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. I think I need a little bit more on this side. They're not twins right now. They're like cousins, but they're not twins. Or sisters, I should say. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, I think we're good there. I am just gonna take a little bit of loose powder. I'm gonna take my Swede powder just to go over it a little bit. I'm just gonna go off the cap, and I'm just gonna go like that. This just will soften things out even more. I love this powder so much. Love it. Okay, so pretty, right? It kind of is that perfect radiant effect with it. So this is the Swede Miracle Powder. I have a short on this, and I talked about it in the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation review I just did. So you guys can check that out. Talked more about it there, but really beautiful. Okay, let's use this as an eyeshadow, and I think, just so you guys can see really fast what it would look like just as an eyeshadow, just because I already tried this, I'm gonna put it on my Wayne Goss, any kind of fluffy brush. This is not available anymore, sorry guys. So we're just gonna take this in, and I'm gonna start the pigments right here, and then I'm gonna bring that out. Because when I do like these kind of natural bronzy type eyeshadows, I like to start it here and then windshield wiper it out, because I want most of the pigment right there to go right into a nose contour. And I'm just gonna bring that out, because I don't want too much of that on the end. I'll do a little bit towards the end, then I'll go in and start getting a little bit more into that outer crease. Let's start in with the Armani Neo Nude, and we're gonna do a little bit of a nose contour, Patrick Ta. I usually do this before I do powder, but if you want to do it over powder, you absolutely can, especially if you're a powdered foundation girl. That's what I love about this. This is one of my favorite nose contour products ever made. And actually, I'm using the wrong brush. I like to do the Scott Barnes 63 brush for this. This is actually my favorite. Yeah, This is my favorite one for this method. I don't know why. I usually do the powder with the Patrick Ta. Let me clean that off. Messed up my method. I have a method to, method to my madness. Is that how you say it? There's a method to my madness. There we go. Eventually I was gonna get there. And I'm taking the medium Vanish Press Powder. Blending, this is the E61. This sucker blends so good for a synthetic without disrupting. I'm just gonna go back in with the bronzing powder and start blending that all together. See how that just blended right into that? And even bring it down a little. Gosh, this bronzing powder is incredibly creamy and beautiful. It's really nice. All right, let's get a little bit darker shades. We're gonna throw in a little bit of the Neo Nude into the crease area because you guys know lately I just can't stop raving about it. And I'm just using the BK Beauty A502 for this. Just going a little bit tighter into the crease. Giving myself a little bit of a base there before I put down a little bit darker shade there. It's so pretty. This is just a multi-purpose, this Neo Nude. I just bought another one because I'm going through these so fast when I got the other shade of this because they're always on sale, and then when you have the 25 or 20% off, whatever discount you get on Armani Beauty, then it's on top of that sale. So I'm like, might as well stock up while they still have them. Armani, please never get rid of that. This is just the best. Going back to the bronzer. It's like gonna be the perfect summer look. So pretty. E61, and we're gonna blend all that out. And then sometimes I like to just take the Hourglass powder with my E61, get that puff out of the way, and I like to go right here and just kind of blend out any edges that we may have messed up. But super easy and simple. That's what I love about this look. Just going back, just rebuilding. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Viseart Neutral Mattes. We're gonna take that shade right there. I think it's 7. I'm just gonna go in with my Synergy Mini Booster. And I'm taking the Sephora 19 brush, and we're gonna take this transition shade, number 8 in that palette, and going over that. We'll do this shade right here. This is shade 9, Gold Ashes. I'm just going to take my Rare Beauty highlighter, and this is Exhilarate, and we're going to take that onto this rougher BO3. I actually want to do Flaunt. Let's do Flaunt. Flaunt is a little bit darker. Is this Flaunt? Yeah. Flaunt is this beautiful like goldy color. Exhilarate was a little aggressive for the moment I was looking for. Just going to pop that into the inner tear duct area. We're taking the Armani Neo Nude, and I will put the shade name right there. Mine is so worn off, but this is one of my favorite blush shades ever made and formulas ever made. It's just beautiful. I'm just taking Pink Dahlia from Cover FX and going over that. Just blending everything with my Surratt brush. Going back with the bronzer. Going over that just because I always love doing that. You guys know that. And that is how the final look turned out. And I will see you guys at my midday check-in. All right, I wanted to show you guys what this bronzer looks like in natural daylight, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful, beautiful formula. I am just loving my makeup all the way around. I'm doing another wear test on another product, but I have to tell you guys, I am so impressed. It really, truly is such a beautiful formula mixed with the Armani Neo Nude blushes and contour. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like my go-to summer bronzed look. It is so pretty. All right, you guys, I will see you at the final ratings. All right, Glamfam, back in studio on a different day. I actually filmed a bunch of other videos, so I thought let me just wrap this up really quick. I've had to kind of like ponder my thoughts on this product and see where I'm at. And now we're about 8 days later since I filmed that first section, and I've had some time to play with this bronzer. And I did get 100 in, so I'll show you guys the swatch of that. It does have a different color on the outside, so you guys will be able to tell. That one is definitely more red orange undertones. I wasn't as thrilled, and I was a little afraid of that. I think I even mentioned it on my original community post when I mentioned that these were releasing, and I knew 90 was going to be my shade. It has more of those neutral golden undertones that I like, but it is a really pretty shade. If you like more of those red orange undertones, then you'll like that one. It's definitely more deep and more depth in that one, I would say, and definitely more warmth in that one. So if you like those type of shades, then I would go with shade 100. And I'll show you guys what that one looks like applied on camera. I was gonna do that for a short, but I thought, let me just show it to you in this video, just in case you guys wanna know what that shade looks like. Plus, I already promised you earlier in the video that I was going to do that. So you guys can see, I mean, applied really nice, just like the shade 90 did, but I personally love the way shade 90 applied for some reason. I felt like just a teensy bit that was a little bit more patchy, in my opinion, on my skin. I don't know why, but maybe it looked smooth to you guys. Maybe when I look at it in the final editing, I will see a difference. But as of right now, on how I played with shade 100, I just did not care for that one as much. I love shade 90, and this one I definitely use more. There is so much to go through on this product, but just know you can really see, like right now, I can see, like you wouldn't be able to see in studio, but I'll show you guys the up close shots. You can really see the glitter particles. So this definitely has that glitter sheen to it. It's not like something that's really prominent once it goes on the skin, but it is definitely going to give you a nice smooth sheen to the skin. It's not a matte bronzer. So just so you guys know that. If you like matte bronzers, this will not be your bronzer, and that's a lot of bronzer to get through. But the good part about this is it really does diffuse out into something really beautiful, and I loved the way shade 90 applied. Really, really pretty. So let's rank these products. You guys were able to see shade 90 and shade 100. If you're new here, I like to rate my products, and I'm sorry for my Glamfam sisters that join me every week, but just in case we have new people, what I like to do is I like to look at application to see how smooth it goes on. I like to look at the finish and wear. How long does it wear? I like to look at the shade range. Can I find a shade in that range? And then I also like to look at packaging. Does it make sense? Is it going to be a nuisance? And then I look at whether or not I want to repurchase this product, and I give you guys my final glam score of what we're shooting for is 25 out of 25. So let's take a look at application. Application, I mean, the way shade 90 applied, I'm just going to kind of reference back to that shade. Oh my gosh, you guys saw, it was so buttery and smooth. It almost feels like the Armani Neo Nude, where it almost feels like a cream to powder finish. It was very creamy and smooth, and it didn't have any type of skipping, is what I preferably want when I'm looking at the application. Can I use any brush with this? Absolutely. Can I use stippling motions or swiping motions? Either one worked. I really felt like this application was extremely easy, especially with the shade 90. I loved it. So I'm going to give application a solid 5 out of 5. As far as the finish and wear goes, I really look at, does it blur out my skin in any way? Is it smoothing? Again, is it gonna go over my fine lines and wrinkles? I'm 46 years old. Is it going to wear nicely on my skin? And that's the stuff I look for. So I'm going to show you guys my percentages right there. And as far as the wear time, I do think these wear really beautifully, and they do have a very long lasting formula. So I do appreciate that a lot. I do think that that creamy texture leaves it very smoothing on the skin, which is really nice. It really did deliver a very beautiful sheen to the skin, but just keep in mind, you do have those glitter particles in there. So you are going to see some luminosity in there. It's kind of a combination of luminosity and matte. I would say when it comes to the percentage of luminosity, I would say about 30% in there that you can see on the skin. If you look at the pan, it's a lot higher, but when you actually put it on your skin, it starts to mattify for some. I don't know how to explain it. It's a very different formula, and it wore a really long time, so I do appreciate that as well. So I'm going to give Finish and Wear a solid 4 out of 5. As far as packaging goes, and I'm looking at the shelf life, I'm looking at where it's made, I'm looking at the overall packaging. The overall packaging is really beautiful, standard Armani. I do miss the CC logo, or the G PA logo that they usually put like on this Neo Nude. They put it in the front. They don't have it on this packaging, and I don't know if that's because this is made in China and not in Italy or France or anywhere else that most designer brands that charge a lot of money typically make their products out of. I was disappointed in that. If I'm gonna pay, if something's made in China, I wanna pay a cheaper price for it. It's just simple as that. But if something is of like Armani status, Giorgio Armani, and I'm paying a high price tag for it, I want it to be made somewhere in the UK, Japan, USA. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more out of that. And just my opinion. The shelf life is pretty darn good. You have a 24-month shelf life, but you do have a lot of product to go through, so I appreciate that as well. But overall, the packaging is really pretty, so I'm not going to dock it too much, but I was a little disappointed in that, and I am going to give packaging a 3 out of 5 just because of that. As for the shade range, I do think shade 90 worked out beautifully for me, and I wouldn't pick any other shade now. Like, that is just that perfect undertone that I personally like. Kind of like a Hoola bronzer from Benefit. I would compare it to that. I would compare it to my Victoria Beckham shade 3, and I'll show you guys some comparisons with other bronzers that I took pictures of, all of my top bronzers. I would say that the Gucci one semi comes close to it, but Gucci has a little bit more neutral, almost leaning cool undertone to that one. The shade I love, shade 2. So that one was a little different. As far as my Surratt bronzers, they come probably the Soleil Dew comes the closest to it because it has more of those golden undertones. And as far as the Makeup Forever one, the one I love, Wild Sand, it comes close. I still like the Makeup Forever undertone just a tad bit more, and I like the formula a tad bit more as well, or a lot more actually. I really love that formula. So for me, this is a beautiful shade, so I don't want to take away from that. So I'm going to give shade range a 4 out of 5. I wish there was something in between the 90 and 100. That would be my only gripe with that. And then as far as repurchasing this product, I don't know if this is something I'm going to continually want to repurchase. Let's put it that way. I have too many other bronzers that I love so much. And when I say too many, I mean like 3 of them probably 4 of them that I reach for the absolute most. But my Surratt bronzers are #1. They deliver that beautiful luminosity sheen, but with good matte and no glitter. So I do appreciate that. I love, for my girls, that like that really matte finish. The Makeup Forever new ones are just amazing. Wild Sand is that perfect comparison if you like this shade. I mean, very, 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 very similar, but there are slight different undertone changes in that, but just beautiful. My Gucci bronzer, these are top shelf. These are right in front of my face. This is just one of the most incredible formulas. Victoria Beckham, and this is the one I was talking about. This is shade 3 in Studio. I showed you guys the B-roll, but shade 3 is a very, very, very similar undertone to 90. So these are bronzers I personally would reach for more than I would this one, although I don't want to take away from the fact that this is beautiful. So I'm going to give repurchasing a 4 out of 5 for right now, just because I don't know where I'm going to be at a month from now. So we're looking at a total glam score of 20 out of 25. This is not my #1 bronzer, but it is a really good bronzer, and it's one that I'll continually add into my makeup routine once in a while. And I actually really liked it even for the eyeshadow look. It really blended things out really beautiful, and that helps with that sheen. Typically with anything with a sheen, it's going to give you some good blending power. So I do appreciate that. Let's rank my bronzers like I always do when I talk about foundations and blushes and bronzers and concealers. I like to kind of show you guys, plus I like to show you the shades that I wear, the numbers, so you guys can kind of get a perspective of the color I got, to see if that's something you'd like to get online. So we're looking at Surratt as my #1 bronzer. You guys know that is just that formula, made in Japan, cannot be beat. It is so incredibly smoothing and so easy to apply. Like, you just cannot get patchy with that formula. And then close, and I mean almost tied for first, is the Makeup Forever new Artist Bronzers. They really released some beautiful formulas, and 15 Wild Sand is just a perfect shade to bronze tour. You can contour, you can bronze, you can do anything with that. That is just truly a magnificent formula. And then Gucci bronzer right there, close third. I mean, again, like almost Makeup Forever and Surratt are almost tied, and then Gucci's like right smack right there. And then I would say the Victoria Beckham bronzers. I mean, her formula is incredibly amazing and creamy and just so mature skin friendly. I have to say, like, it's just truly a beautiful formula. And then it would be my Cover FX. Cover FX is just such a beautiful bronzer. It really is such a gorgeous formula, and you do have that option with the duos to add in that sheen for that radiance if you like that, which I really like. I don't talk enough about their bronzers, but you guys know I love the blush as well, and you know how much I love the bronzer drops, but they go hand in hand with each other. And Sun-Kissed is such a beautiful shade, very close to this one as well, again in that same family. And then I would put the Armani right after the Cover FX one. I still like the Cover FX one even a little bit more, you guys, I really do. But as you guys can see from my list right there, and you can see the rest of them, I really like more matte bronzers, but I like the Surratt one because it does have a little twist to the matte, the typical matte bronzers. And then I really love this new Chanel one, but I don't know if this video is I think this video is gonna come out after I do this one, so I'm not positive. But anyway, this Chanel bronzer in this new trio is so pretty. This is the medium coral one, so I would add that in there as well. It's so beautiful. But that's it, you guys. I just wanted to share that. I know a lot of you appreciate when I include the shades and all of that because it kind of gives you a better idea, and I always get asked if Hoola bronzer, compare it to Hoola bronzer, so I wanted to make sure to do that for you guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I haven't seen too many people like thumbnails. I don't really watch too many beauty channels, but I haven't seen too many thumbnails on this brand new Armani bronzer, so I'm not sure when Sephora is going to pick it up. I think I saw it on Macy's and Nordstrom already, so, and of course Armani, but I will have all the links in the description box as always, so when you guys utilize my links, it really does help my channel out. And if you are new here, before you go, please remember to hit that subscribe button, click the post notification bell, join our beautiful glam fam. We're here every Sunday, and we just love for you to become part of our family. And if you did like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up when you guys hit the like button, and comment below. It really does help push my videos up through the algorithm. You can catch me on Shorts Monday through Wednesday on YouTube, and also definitely check out my Instagram page and my TikTok page. I try to post more frequently on TikTok. I'm trying to get better about that, but I do have a blog, KristiAllure.com. You can check out my merch there, and be sure to check out that video next, and I will see you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.
I'm holding